7. Barrett outside the switch. Doncic goes on.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well, and today I'm going to be talking about what can Immanuel Quickley do to bring his game to the next level and get better as a basketball player. But a big shout out to Shantaro for suggesting this video idea. A big shout out to all my members. I really appreciate you guys. If it's Buzzer Beater, if it's Nick Central, if it's Joshua Gregg, if it's Braypan, or even Shantaro, you guys are amazing. For you guys to further your support and go above and beyond for me, I really appreciate it. If you guys want anything, just let me know. You can contact me on Twitter. And also just a big shout out to all my subscribers or just viewers. If you're not even a subscriber, I still appreciate you tuning in, smashing that like button, or just checking out my passionate thoughts on the New York Knicks or basketball in general, because this channel would not be possible without you guys. So just thank you so much. But yes, we have to keep in mind Immanuel Quickley is a rookie. I'm not expecting him to change these mistakes overnight like that, you know what I'm saying? But just maybe some things he should brush up on and really take a look at the film on when it comes to throughout his NBA career. If he wants to be that point guard of the future, I'm kind of lukewarm on that. He still has a lot of things he can improve on. Of course, I was one of those people that really wanted Immanuel Quickley to start over Elfrid Payne. I was there would be less zone, there'd be pressure taken off of other guys like Elfrid Payne. Just he just is not simply a starter in the league. He could be a valuable backup point guard that brings you energy off the bench when it comes to the defensive side of things, but he doesn't fit today's NBA when it comes to shooting the basketball. And I was Payne's not going to be here next year. He doesn't fit the timeline. What is the point of this? But then you take a look at how bad the bench is, and then we actually saw Quickley get his opportunity, and I'm yeah, that's why we're fans, and that's why Tibbs is a coach. Quickley does not know how to run the point guard position yet. If it's shooting too early in the shot clock, just not making smart decisions with the basketball, reading the floor properly, he still has a lot of work to do. But yeah, let me know down below, do you think we're going to trade up for a point guard? Because I don't see us bringing in 3 rookies. That doesn't seem like a Tibbs thing to do. Of course, we have 2 first-round picks and then the early second-rounder. But yeah, I don't see us bringing in 3 rookies, so I think we're going to trade up. Not sure if that's going to be for a point guard or whatever position, but yeah, let me know down below. But we're going to be getting into the flaws of Immanuel Quickley's game. But this is not a hate video. I love Immanuel Quickley. It's just that it would be cool to make a video. Shout out to Shantaro again, great video idea, for things he can improve on. We know he's a good shooter from beyond the arc. He has that good floater in the lane. He's a very smart basketball player. He's good at initiating contact. So I just want to get that out of the way. But yeah, let's get into the flaws of Immanuel Quickley's game and maybe some things he should brush up on and improve as a basketball player. So no further ado, let's get right into the video, y'all. Alright, so we're going to be starting off with the floater, which could be a blessing and a curse. Of course, he's really good at maneuvering off of that ball screen and catching defenders on his hip, getting in front of them and using that floater in the lane. And this is something he was really executing well. It's a really high quality shot. It's not flashy. Tony Parker used this move a lot, but he was really good at floating the ball over defenders and getting easy buckets. It's textbook. He's been working on it since literally the high school, middle school level if you watch his documentary, because he's I'm not the most athletic guy in the world, so I'm going to have to add that to my arsenal to get it over taller defenders. And it's really been effective early in his NBA career. But since defenses know now that's one of his go-to moves, defenses are starting to adjust to that and bring certain blitzes or certain coverages when it comes to jumping up on him, so he feels really uncomfortable. So now that the defense is jumping up on him, of course, when it comes to the painted area, it's not even a floater anymore. It looks like he's pushing it and he's kind of scared and he's kind of rattled. So this is getting to the flaw here when it comes to Immanuel Quickley. Sometimes the paint is wide open, but he doesn't look to drive it all the way. So you see certain defenses sometimes is force him to it looks like he has a wide open lane to the basket, but then they just pin it off the glass, because Immanuel Quickley needs to work on taking it stronger to the basket. He kind of really goes up weak with this finger roll when he should be going up strong. But I get it, he's not the most physically gifted type of guy. He's 6'2", 6'3", but he isn't the strongest of guy in the world. He definitely needs to get stronger, but you'd like to see him go up stronger, try to initiate contact by bumping into them and then putting it up. Sometimes he just goes up so soft, it's just he just lays it up like that, and it looks like he's not even putting any oomph into the layup. He's not going up that strong, if you know what I mean. So you definitely like to see him go up stronger to the basket, or even when yes, he loves taking the floater, but sometimes it could be unnecessary and he takes it from mid-range territory when you're just shoot a mid-range shot. At that point, it's really hard to shoot a floater when you're off balance or you're off one leg really deep, if you know what I'm saying. He's been working on that a lot, but at that point, just take a well-balanced like mid-range shot, in my opinion, or like I said, when there's no one near the paint, just go straight to the cup. Like there's literally no one near the basket whatsoever. So sometimes he takes the floater a little too much, and you would like to see him take it stronger to the basket, in my opinion. Alright, a thing that's really irritating about Immanuel Quickley is shooting too early in the shot clock. So when you're a point guard, you try to set up your offense to get the best available shot or the best of quality shot. And let's just say Immanuel Quickley really doesn't do a good job, like, really doing that. I understand he's a rookie, but sometimes he could be a little too confident in his shot. Like, as soon as he crosses half court, he pulls up for a three when there's still like 22 seconds left on the shot clock, and it's kind of like irritating for sure, especially when you're up a lot of points. It's like you're kind of just giving them like a brand new possession of the basketball, and it's just like, okay, that's a wasted possession. Like, maybe momentum can go away from that because maybe your teammates are starting to like really expect you to shoot early in the shot clock. So then when there is someone cutting to the basket and like he looks to pass it, maybe they weren't expecting it, if you know what I'm saying, because they're so used to certain habits of Immanuel Quickley, and sometimes it could really brush off like on certain players, you know, or rub off on certain players. As sometimes it's just really unnecessary. It looks like he's just probably trying to make this big time momentum play happen, but he also has to realize he's a point guard. He controls the flow of the game. He controls the pace. So anything he does negative, like that's gonna rub off on the basketball team. So make sure you move the ball around, get quality shots, or even if the shot isn't there, then you could force up a shot if they're playing good defense, but not as soon as you cross half court, especially if it's a very close basketball game. That's a really wasted possession, like down the stretch. Alright, this is something I'm actually really excited about when it comes to Immanuel Quickley's game, because I think he could work on this. He's very smart, he's really aware, is when he gets the ball screens. Like, he's really good actually coming off of ball screens and looking for people down low or moving without the basketball. Immanuel Quickley thrives with those types of passes, but something he really needs to work on, like I said, he's good at catching defenders on his hip when it comes to getting to that floater in the lane. So, like Chris Paul does this. I'm not saying he's Chris Paul, but Chris Paul really perfects this. Tony Parker perfected this as well. So, when the defender comes, you catch him on the hip. Like, sometimes the shot isn't always going to be there because there could be a pick and pop situation as well. Most likely because the defense has gotten so used to like quickly using that floater in the lane so much in one game or just throughout the entire season, because that is a part of the scouting report. The defense is going to collapse. So he really has to recognize and get better when it comes to reading the defense. So sometimes there is a trailer behind him for a pick and pop situation, or when the defense collapses, there's going to be maybe one or two wings open. So instead of forcing that floater in the lane, sometimes you should recognize better to kick it out, because it is actually a blessing when the defense really recognizes that he uses that floater a lot, because it opens up the game for everyone else and it really just gets the defense to collapse. And another thing, when it comes to rushing his shots, like, of course, when it comes to a screen coming, like, sometimes, like, you could see him, like, maybe he can get a better quality shot. Like, if he's at the top of the key, a screen is set, he comes off of it from like the right wing territory. Like, you've probably seen this before. It's like the defender's still behind him, right? And he kind of affects the shot and it ends up being off balance. So he ends up taking this, like, he's like pushed forward type of three. I don't know if you guys want to know what I'm talking about, when there's actually plenty of separation and he could actually take a strong pound dribble and pull up from mid-range territory. It's definitely not the best of shot when you're off balance and you're shooting from downtown. Get a more quality shot when it comes to coming off the screen, because they're closer to you, so there's a bigger chance that they're going to alter your shot. But I know what he also does in that situation. He tries to draw a foul and really tries to bait them into like getting them out of control and fouling them at the three-point line. But if you want to get a more quality shot after the screen comes and you cast a defender on his on your hip, use a sidestep and pull up from mid-range territory, or look to go more to the basket because you lost your man, or after getting that defense to collapse or the guy behind you, because then they're going to think he's going straight to the floater. He can kick it out to the corner and get a quality shot for his teammates. Another thing that's kind of like a rookie mistake, and I don't actually understand why players use this a lot. I don't know if it's because he's not the tallest of guys, so when he's double teamed, he has no choice but to do this, but maybe he should work on certain like chest passes or like unorthodox like bounce passes. And like, that's what I love about like Curry. Like, he works on certain things. Like, maybe you won't see him in the game, but he's always prepared. Like, when it comes to his ball handling drills or just like any types of passes, just go back, watch Pete Maravich. Like, the game was totally different back then, but you got to be like ready for the unexpected. But yeah, you watch Immanuel Quickley play. I hate when he does this. When he gets the basketball, he's trapped and he jumps and passes the basketball. I hate that. I know he's trying to look over the defenders, but sometimes you should just call out like help Randall, and then hand it off to his teammate if you know what I'm saying, or just give like a nice like look around the defense and give a bounce pass. I know it's not that easy, but jumping in the air and passing is one of the worst mistakes you could ever make. You literally learn that in like elementary school, because like you're up in this motion, and if nothing's there, you're gonna turn the ball over as well. It's just not a smart decision. It could result in a turnover. It could result in a very just bad crucial play down the stretch, if you know what I'm saying. But it's hard to really go through your options when you're up there in the air and you only have like 1 second. Now, getting into his defense, I really love his on-ball defense. He plays aggressive, like you've seen it since Kentucky. That was his main thing, on-ball defense. But team defense is something he really needs to work on, and also reading like when to go over and under screen. Sometimes his like competitive attitude can get really ahead of himself. With like, okay, he's a good shooter, but he's not going to make it this time. So sometimes he goes under the screen. But Immanuel Quickley is just a dog when it comes to on-ball defense. But sometimes he can play with his hands too much, and sometimes he doesn't do a really good job like recognizing like how he has to close out on someone else's man when there is a miscommunication. You do have to switch in certain situations. But yeah, let me know down below, like, what do you think Immanuel Quickley needs to improve at? Like, the most, of course, he's this guy, like some people were saying, doesn't have the highest of ceiling because he's not really this athletic specimen and he doesn't really have great physical tools. But that doesn't mean he can't be a good NBA player. He's smart, great work ethic, which is something I think people should really add to when it comes to potential, not just natural talent, but also their mental makeup. But yeah, let me know down below your thoughts and analysis, and peace out, y'all.